Terry Magro and her family do some of the most difficult work that there is. They provide support and resources for children with cancer and other chronic illnesses. And Terry, it's an honor to meet you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Why did you start the foundation and how did you get started in this nonprofit business, Terry?
So the journey dates back to 2004, Joe, when my younger son, Mark, at the time was 11 years old. In March of 2004, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a cancer. And he was treated at the Cancer Center for Kids at NYU Langone Winthrop Hospital. He was in the midst of treatment when Michael had presented with what we thought was a flu, turned out to be pneumonia, and pneumonia brought the leukemia to the forefront, which totally threw us off our game for sure. So now in May of 2004, Michael was diagnosed with leukemia. Mark was in treatment at the Cancer Center for Kids for his Hodgkin's lymphoma. And Michael, shortly after his diagnosis, he had a very, very tough 7 weeks, passed away in July of 2004. My husband, Paul, and I decided to turn this tragedy into something a little bit positive to help the families that we had met along the way in our journey at the Cancer Center for Kids. And we really saw how much money goes through your hands on a given month because you're not budgeting for it. You're in total disarray. Your whole family unit is broken and you're trying to just piece everything together. And in the midst of it, you're trying to pay your bills while you probably are now on either a leave of absence or had resigned from your position at the job that you were working.
Terry, what gave you the ability to get through this? And how do you support families who the foundation helps now?
So what really gave my background, Joe, I'm a registered nurse. So, I have that clinical component and the psychosocial piece of my personality and reaching out to these families, just trying to talk to them as we were all going through these tragic times, journey together, is what really resonated with Paul and I after Michael's passing, because we felt, he was 13 and a half years old. He was a great kid. Everybody says that about their child, but he was a great kid. He was dubbed by his friends as a peacemaker. Michael always tried to bring people together. He always tried to help. So we wanted to do the same thing. And I felt as though it would be my way of trying to work through the heartache and be able to do something positive and turn all of this horror into something positive where we can really make a difference in other people's lives and try and just let them breathe and maybe smile for just a moment.
Aside from the social aspects and the hand holding that you do, what are the financial benefits that you can give to people?
The financial benefits is really what drives a lot of it. We work directly with social workers and case managers, and those particular professionals identify the families that are falling behind in their mortgage, their rent, their utility bills. We buy gift cards on a regular basis to help them with gas and gift cards to places like gas stations, supermarkets, Target, Walmart, places where they can buy food. They can maybe be able to pay for a prescription just to help them through the month. So giving those people those $50, $100 gift cards and taking a bill off their plate and paying it in full is really a very big and important piece.
That's huge. And is that what you use some of the funds from the Investors Bank Foundation for?
So the Investors Bank Foundation has been extremely generous with us. Mike Billia is on our board. I met the Investor Bank people a couple of years ago at a networking event, and we started speaking about the goals and the programs of the foundation. And one of the programs that resonated with Michael and some of the other staff members at the bank was our school reentry program, which is dubbed as Project SOAR. It's a school academic resource program that we wrote in conjunction with the Cancer Center for Kids at NYU Winthrop Hospital. And that program basically meets the critical academic needs of these patients in conjunction with the clinical staff at the Cancer Center and the school systems. So once a child comes into the Cancer Center for Kids and is of school age, the clinical people, the clinical staff reach out to the parents and ask if they will have permission to speak to the school district that that child is attending, and ask if they can get into the school and speak to the building principal, the classroom teacher, student teachers, and kind of work with them and walk them through, advocate for the child, what they're going through on the treatment side and what's happening at the Cancer Center in conjunction with how it's going to affect their academic studies. And it's been in existence since 2008. And Investors Bank Foundation has been extremely generous with many grants that they have given us to continue this particular program. We fund this program 100%. There is no fee to the school, to the families, to the Cancer Center. We totally fund the program. So it's extremely supportive. There's an awful lot of counseling going on now with the COVID-19, of course, as you can imagine.
And what you say is what actually some other recipients of the Investors Bank Foundation have told me, that they don't just write the check, but they actually come to your events and actively help you.
I tell you, Joe, honestly, lots of banks have crossed our paths in the course of years. This group of professionals at Investors Bank really stand out. And I have told that to so many, many people and have asked them to just meet up with the Investor Bank staff and speak to them and feeling for the personal touch. They really have not lost that personal touch, which is just amazing. They want to see you, they want to talk to you, they want to know what's going on, and they want to be involved. So many of the staff at the different branches have come and volunteered at multiple events that we have held, and it's fantastic. They donate not just their time, but they work beside me, and they help with the families. So it's more than just a relationship of a grant. It's really down to a personal level, and it's so enjoyable because you can pick up the phone at any time and just chat with these people, and it doesn't have to be a banking issue, it could be any issue, and they're right there to kind of guide you and walk through things with you. So it's honestly, it's the best relationship with a bank I've ever had.
Terry Magro of the Magro Foundation, I am in awe of you. Thank you for what you do and for the story that you tell and the work that you're doing.
Joe, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody at Investors Bank and Investors Bank Foundation.